Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. So let's talk a little bit of serious concussion in the super middleweight division. Now, what we've been hearing of late is that David Benavidez, the boogeyman of that super middleweight division, the guy that we know Canelo Alvarez ain't trying to fight, and probably a whole lot of other ones, right? When we talk about the best fighter in that super middleweight division, David Benavidez's name is going to come up, and that's been for the last 2 years for sure, right? David Benavidez, what Mike Tyson even gave him the moniker, the Mexican Monster. You know, he's going to throw some punches and bunches, going to keep coming at you, and he's handling his business up until now, right? Now, he said of late that he's looking to fight Jaime Munguia, the 154-pound champion that went up to 160. Now, what I'm saying here is he's going to mess up his reputation, right, and his momentum by wanting to fight Jaime Munguia. Now, if Jaime Munguia just fell in all of a sudden in your plate and you decided to eat, that's different. Jaime Munguia all of a sudden messed around and backed in and beat somebody that we wasn't supposed to and fell on your plate, that's different. But for David Benavidez, the boogeyman for 168-pound division, wanting to fight Jaime Munguia is not a good thing. And I'm going to explain a couple of reasons why. Okay, first of all, David Benavidez had the moniker of Canelo Alvarez not wanting to fight him. Canelo Alvarez don't want to fight nobody, though. It's like get in line. You know what I'm saying? Get behind Jamal Charlo just because he's fighting Jamel right now. No, we ain't going to forget the 8 years you didn't fight Jamal, right? You know, and franchise title. Demetrius Andrade, that's been 10 years. But his mandatory didn't do it. At 160, could have fought him for undisputed, didn't do it. Won't fight him nowhere, no day, nothing. So behind him, David Morrell, he ain't fighting him either. And so David Benavidez, you one of them 4 dudes that he ain't gonna fight. And matter of fact, 5 with Bivol, or 6 with Beterbiev. You know, so all of that from there, Canelo ain't fighting none of them. So you're just in line with a whole lot of people. But that was the moniker, right? Till David Morrell said, hey, I'll fight you now, and we will, consolidate these belts. Me and you, unification. Didn't want to do that, and instead, Jaime Munguia. Now, people are going to follow. Now, people that's going to give people excuses anyway, don't worry about them. But some people who thinking that David Benavidez is really the Mexican monster, right? And wanted them to be, but all of us, but are at least objective and like, hold up, you ain't gonna fight Dave Morrell. You want Jaime Munguia? Now here's the problem what I have with Jaime Munguia. Pretty sure most of you guys know. Jaime Munguia was a 154-pound champion, right? Could have done a few things more than 154 pounds, but okay. Well, maybe unified with Jamel or something like that, but okay. Moved up to 160, right? After being champion at 154. At 160, right? He signed at the zone with who? Demetrius Andrade. He's the mandatory for Demetrius Andrade for maybe 2.5 years. Never wanted to have that fight. Mandatory now. There's another Mexican guy who's the mandatory who says, I don't give a damn about no damn mandatory. If the dude is the champion, is too hard. I ain't fighting him. And everybody looks away and never asked him to do it. He did the same thing with Jamal Charlo. You at 160 pounds and 2 champions are begging you to fight, and he doesn't do it. Right? So that's the issue. It's like you're not trying to fight anybody. Now comes to find out Carlos Adames, right? He was supposed to have an interim fight against him. Turned that down, didn't want to do that either. The only guy that he would ever call out of 160 was Gennady Golovkin. So moves up to 168. Because at 160, it's like, you know what, if I got to go through any of these guys, then damn a championship. I'll just ignore becoming a champion at 160 and go to 168 and see who I can pick. So he messed around and brought Deverenchenko up with him and had a, knockdown, drag-out type of fight where you don't know who won, right? So David Benavidez is not supposed to want Jaime Munguia. Not right now, not in public. Right, he's supposed to be Dave Benavidez got too much going on to want Jaime Munguia because this information I know, and I'm not so hands-on, right? I know all this information about Jaime Munguia. It's not somebody who's going steamrolling people. He's supposed to have fought at least Jamel Charlo at 154, Jamal or Demetrius Andrade at 160, Carlos Adamas too, right? Then goes up fight Darian Chinko and don't rematch him because you should, right? So therefore, that's nothing that David Benavidez should be wanting to do, right? Like if fans wanted some kind of Mexican stuff or whatever, then maybe. But that's not something David Benavidez should be wanting to do. That's not worthy of a boogeyman of the division or a Mexican monster. If that happens, those monikers will have big question marks by them. Are you guys following me now? Dave Benavidez should be wanting the David Morrells, maybe call out a Demetrius Andrade, something a little bit harder to do, or unless Canelo would have fought him. But obviously Canelo he ain't trying to fight nobody in his division at 168. You know, he was up there messing around with Badu Jack trying to pull him down 20 pounds and then pulling up Jamel up two weight divisions up. So Canelo was basically looking for circus fights. I done told you, right? In 168 is enough stuff he could have done. Bivol would have come down and fight him at 168 for a rematch that he should have wanted to happen. Because if he do, I'm going to lose my 168-pound title. Dave Morrell is his regular mandatory. So 2 years now. I ain't messing with that. And David Benavidez, we know he ain't messing with that. And Andres done moved up there. As you know, he ain't never messing with him. So Canelo he ain't doing nothing at 168. So that's why I'm going to keep picking other stuff. And, you know, at least it sounds cool. Dared to be great. I was up there trying to mess with Badu Jack as cruiserweight, but I ain't going to fight him at 200 pounds. I try to bring him down 20 and still get credit for it because the press is going to help me. So if I do that, they would help me. But Badu Jack didn't do that. And then, you know, let me get Jamel Charlo. And I told you guys in the video last week, not one person. Jamel Charlo's undisputed at 154. Canelo's undisputed at 168. Anybody saying anything about let's meet halfway or a little bit, you know, not all the way up there, maybe at 164 or something like that, instead of bringing them up 2 weight classes? Nah, that's not going to happen either. So that's Canelo's, you know, Canelo got it going on like that. You know, a little bit of handicap here and there. But at the end of the day, back to the point, Dave Benavidez should not be wanting Jaime Munguia, or he's going to kind of, his little legacy is going to take a hit here. Watch. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.